Hi folks, Hugh here, and this is just the beginning run through for Instant Content Curator Express, but you need to have like some little reference just so you know how to use this thing. So I'm doing that right now. I'll be doing a much more complicated help system in the days to come. But one thing that you're going to know is that ICC Express will run as a trial version the first time you run it until you do a manage key thing, or actually it's an upgrade license. So what you do is click upgrade license and you put your purchase email and the registration key in here and validate, and the license will immediately be upgraded to the unlimited or to the developer edition. So once you're all licensed up, and you can use it in trial mode for 2 weeks, and then you get an annoying screen and it'll force you to put in the registration. First thing you want to do though is you want to add your blog, and it's just like my other software. You've got your profile name. Just type in a keyword, it'll pop over here for later use. Put in the blog address, the login and password. You can test it and save it. You want to put in your Google account, your Google email and password. Save that. They'll end up on the list here. And the new thing here is TalkWalker. So what you want to do is go to talkwalker.com and create yourself an account, and then just enter in your keywords for your alerts, just like on Google here, which I've got loaded up here. Let's go back to the Google. These are Google alerts, and these are TalkWalker alerts, and they're just a copy of Google alerts. So it's very good, and they seem to have be quite a bit more robust. They have more data coming into the feeds and stuff, so it works really great. And I have implemented that directly into ICC Express. And once you have your TalkWalker accounts and your Google logins programmed in, you just come back here and you select it from the list, make sure they're showing on the profile, and you save it to that profile. Same with all your profiles. So you have the Google account saved to the profile. Otherwise, the curated content won't come through to the profile. Okay? And once you've done that, then you can actually start curating right away. Just go to the Curate tab, and these are all my Google alerts right here. And you can see I've got lots of nice news from my Google alerts, or my TalkWalker alerts also come up here, and these are all from TalkWalker. And TalkWalker seems to have a lot more stuff than Google. So if you click on a line here, you get basically you do get it formatted for curation, but you don't get any other type of templating or anything. So if I click on the blank page or the line item, that gives me just the blank curation as I've shown you. If I click on the blue T, that gives you a templating, and it creates a title for you as well. But it's always the same, so you're going to want to change that. But it says an interesting article about the keyword, and then the title of the article quoted and stuff by whoever the author is. Okay, and then we've also got this kind of templated curation here. You want to delete these guides that I put in, but it'll show you, and you can change this up. But the idea is to have your keyword in bold in the first curation, and then you've got this formatted correctly. Then you're going to come down here, and you also want to delete these guides, but whatever's in between has your keyword, and so you can basically mark that up and just so you know where that goes. And then you've got a call to action here, which you can say find more about it, click out, or share it, buy a product, whatever you want, a call to action at the end. So you can just like select that whole thing and put your own call to action. But as you can see that we do have the keyword templated in. Now if you don't want all that kind of templating, and maybe you're used to our previous program, Instant Content Curator Pro, then you can use the red T for the for the original templating that we had in Instant Content Curator Pro, which is just this red text, place your opening curation after this, your closing curation, so forth, and the title that gets put in is the exact title from the article. So you do want to change that. You don't want to like use the same title, but you do want to curate this and stuff. Okay, so now let's say you want to go ahead and put an image in here. You just click on this image, and whatever is your keyword saved with that profile, it's going to pull up images from that. And there may be other keywords. You can also type in other keywords, and they'll get saved into your keyword database, and then you can just go. Now these have a bit of templating too, as do the images. If you click on T here, it's going to create a whole templating for you, and it's also going to create a title and get rid of whatever title's in there now. So you might not want to do that. That save is not supposed to be there. I'll get rid of that. But you can then embed the video without the templating as well. I'll just give you an idea. With the templating, you want to click your cursor in and then click the blue T, and then you can close that, and you'll see here it says write something here about the keyword and the title, and then it has the title here and the title underneath the image. That was the image browser. You know, please share this, and then so you want to go and mark it up and, you know, make it good for you. But there's really minimal work to be done on your part. Once you have this stuff in there, you can just tweak it to put some good stuff in there, and then it's a good article, good curation. And the same thing for the videos. Open up the video browser. It behaves the same way with the keywords. You can type them in or select other ones or whatever, and then when you find what you want, make sure you're inserted where you want to be inserted, and then you can either get the templated or the non-templated. And I'll just do the non-template. Well, I like the template, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. Okay, so now I've got my image. I've also got this is the video, Sweet Mama Dog, and so write something here about dog and Sweet Mama Dog in it. So you can just like mark this up until it makes sense, basically. And then you've got your video in an iframe. It does not show up in the editor here like that because it's a Flash editor, but it does show up on your video, and we've got, you know, quoted stuff from the description of the video right here. I've got a call to action. So you want to make sure that you you know, mark everything up until it really makes sense and looks good, but you've really got the meat of it already and the concept of it right here. Delete this, and let's get some lorem ipsum right now to do a test post for you. So I would have some, you know, curation up here, so it would not be in the red. So sometimes if you see that red text, just go to the source and delete that thing in the top. Okay, and then whatever the text is that we're going to put with everything. I'm not going to sit here and write an article while you're here, but we do see we can get the keyword is in there, dog, it's bolded, and everything else here, whatever we want to put in there. Then when we are ready to, and you know, we've got a title here. It's auto-generated for you, but you should mark that up until it's good that you want. Select your category. There is code in there to auto-select the category if it matches the keyword that you've selected for that. Okay, and then you can also set the post date for the future. Remember, you probably can't preview it if you set it to the future. But then you're just going to click post, and I'm going to give you the time sync with this, so don't worry about that. And then we post. Excuse me. And posted to blog. We click that, and we're going to see the article, and here it is. This will be the curated part, and then the stuff that I added, and there's the video, and so on and so forth. And of course I should have deleted this. I didn't really pay much attention to that, but I would certainly put a lot more time into creating my own posts, as I usually do. I usually don't put a lot of time, but I definitely make sure it doesn't have stuff like that in it. Okay, so we go back to ICC Express, and just so you also know that you can see the source article of the last curation that you selected will show up in the number 4 source article. So if you're not happy with the curated part, like right here, what you could do is go here and, you know, I wouldn't probably use this article, but it's just for demonstration purposes, and you might want to take a whole paragraph and just go back here and paste it in there like that, and that would be your curate. You know, put some thought into it, but then you have more curated in it. It's easy to pick it up right here. Okay, so that's how that works. Now, the only other thing I haven't really gone over yet is the curation sources, which is the same as the developer version of ICC Pro. You can add RSS feeds, and as I have done here, and you can click to add a new one. You add the RSS feed here. Let's say let me find one. Hold on. So what I'll do, I'll just copy an RSS link from TalkWalker just to display, just to demonstrate, and then I'll paste that link in here. Click parse. Here's all the stories. Now if I want to see a story and just preview it, I click on the story. I can click view selected story, and whatever's at the end of that URL will come up. And in this case there wasn't anything there, and that will happen from time to time. So let's try another one. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. Well, we know that this one's there. I'll just click this and view that story, and then it comes up in the browser. Okay, so that's how that works. Say I want to keep this feed, and that's how you find out if you want to keep it. You know, you view a few stories and see how they're coming up. There's one. I'm sure they're mostly pretty good. So it's Huffington Post. It's not a curated story, so you could probably curate that one. So okay, I'm just say add. I add it. If I wanted to do another one, I could do that and just keep add, parse, add, and done. And then when I'm done, I'm just done. So you can see it's still here. So now when I go to curate, and I can select here RSS feeds, and all of the RSS feeds that are associated with that profile will now be available. So the okay, so so now we can parse the news stories from those RSS feeds. So for example, we click news, and now these are all the news stories from this RSS feed from the mixing and mastering website. If I go to the TalkWalker alert that I just added, then of course we don't have to add TalkWalker because we've got them automatically, but that was just a demonstration, and it comes up as an RSS feed. There's a lot of ways to slice and dice it. So click news, and we've got all the stuff here from that RSS feed. And now let's try another one from my Huge Artist Hitchcock website. I hope that's running. And yes, there's all the stuff there from that website. In addition, we can also add, you know, any web page. And I have one here saved. You can add as many as you want. You can copy the text and save it so it's ready to curate. Well, let's just put I had some of that lorem ipsum. Let me just get some of that right here real quick. I just copied some from this article I made. And you can paste that in there and then put the author's name in here. Save that. Okay, hopefully that worked, and then we can go back to switch to web pages. Okay, and then it just switches to HTML URLs, and then whatever you had in there, when you click on this, okay, it would have pasted that lorem ipsum in there, but perhaps it's something I need to go work on. I will be improving this and giving you service upgrades regularly, but it also may have just been a thing where if you restarted the program it would have been in there. So anyway, we'll get that all worked out. That's how it works with the HTML URLs. Okay, so Google Alerts, TalkWalker Alerts, RSS feeds, and any web pages you want you can curate, as well as any images from Flickr, Wiki Commons, or Google. And just be careful about Google that you don't use licensed images and get sued. Okay, that's just more or less for a helper. And then YouTube is pretty much all kosher to use. So this is just YouTube. Anything you can find in YouTube will be there. Okay, so that's pretty much a comprehensive overview. This is what this video is going to be in the help until I create the more comprehensive system. So I hope this works for you. Enjoy ICC Express, and don't hesitate to get in contact with me at support@instantcontentcurator.com. Have a great night or a great day or wherever you are, summer, winter, fall. Enjoy yourself and have fun with our ICC Express. Good day.